for anybody who's in the cities that's seen me perform, much of what I'm known for are big, huge notes, like big belting notes, right? And this record, I spent the whole time going, we're not really going to do any of those. We're going to keep everything chill. I'm going to be really close to the mic. We're going to sing real nice and soft. A very, vocally sustainable record. And so, because again, like I had said before, I really wanted the album to be a play and a press play and have a nice vibe throughout. So to me, if you're telling a story, if you're listening to somebody talk at all, it is a dynamic thing. You mean it more, you're going to be a little louder, you're laughing loud, you're getting close in, it's just, the voice is so dynamic.
Welcome to the Back Catalog Listening Party, your weekly musical happy hour where musicians pick an album from their back catalog and tell the stories behind their favorite tracks in front of a live online audience.
This week, we talk with jazz singer and songwriter Jennifer Grimm. We revisit her 2008 album Afternoon and talk about the making of this laid-back summer album. We talk about recording saxophone with a southern drawl and the surprising influence of rappers like Ludacris. So pour a beverage, grab a snack, and kick back as we listen to music together here on the Back Catalog Listening Party, where it's always Friday and old albums never sounded better. All right. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I love that. Very robust this week. Welcome to the Back Catalog Listening Party. My name is Mother Banjo, one of your hosts.
My name is Anthony Ihrig, the other host.
And we have joining us today from just on the other side of the Twin Cities, Jennifer Grimm.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. And Joe says, floating on the stream from Minneapolis tonight, Bell's Two-Hearted IPA by my side. Good companion, right. Joe. We like it.
Good choice.
And hi, Connie, joining us from Richfield.
Hey, Connie.
And Christopher, Minneapolis fans of Jennifer. All right, going to be a great show. It sure is.
Hey, Chris.
Awesome. Well, we are so excited to have you joining us today, whether you're tuned into the podcast, if you're joining the live chat today, tell us where you're tuned in from, if you're enjoying a beverage or a snack. This is our weekly musical happy hour. And we were just saying before we came on, probably as we do every week, how much we needed this. So we're excited to be here, and especially excited because Jennifer is joining the party today. Jennifer, do you have any special beverage?
I do. I didn't want to have anything bubbly to be recorded. And so, and I also, it's a little early for me to dip in just because I'm a mother of too many children. So I'm having a little of sweat tea, very summery, summery sip.
That sounds great.
Excellent.
A good occasion for that. And what about you, Tony?
I am going with an NA IPA from Deschutes. It's their NA version of their fresh squeezed. And it's still just super delicious. And it's even more tasty in my back catalog listening party pint glass.
Excellent. Well, I don't have my back catalog listening party pint glass in hand, but I do have another fancy glass, mainly because what I'm drinking right now it'd be a little much if I filled up a pint glass full of it. I'm just having some bourbon. Bourbon on the rocks.
Perfect.
And to kick off my happy hour with you all, although I don't think I'll need any help having fun with you guys tonight. I'm very excited for tonight's show. And obviously we have some Jennifer Grimm fans who've already joined the party. So folks who live here, especially people who live in the Twin Cities area, will know Jennifer Grimm. Even if they don't know they know Jennifer Grimm, they probably do. Probably seen her in a show, maybe at the History Theater, seen her at the State Fair, seen her doing Judy Garland songs, heard her at Crooners of the Dakota singing jazz. And also your voice has been on many commercials, used in lots of TV shows. And it was funny that just now you said that's a true professional voice specialist, where you were like, I don't want to have not have like alcohol. You're like, I don't want to have bubbles, which is real.
That's pro.
That's a professional, folks. You don't want to get the burps or any of that stuff. It's just
not on a podcast.
Clean voice.
That's right.
Maybe you could give a brief bio, like the 2-minute origin story of where where you grew up, how you fell into making music, and in particular, maybe where this album fits into that.
This album's from 2008. So, yeah, I grew up in a musical family. Mom and dad had a show band on the road for 20 years, sort of the last standing vaudeville family. We played all the casinos and all the lounges and all the resorts and everything. The 20 years span for them was sort of early 70s to the early 90s for them. And I was born in 78. I started on stage with them in 1980.
Oh, wow.
So
they got you going early.
Yep. I'm one of 4 children. They kind of brought us all on as we were able, and even before. So so music's just been part of this, the family trade. It's what I do. It's what they still do. Everybody does. And so when we got off the road, so I just kind of grew up traveling and singing with them, and schooled on the road and constantly playing every weekend my whole life, pretty much. When we got off the road, I landed here in the Twin Cities and went to school and everything, but never stopped performing every weekend. And so it has been my whole life. And I started writing songs when I was a kid. But since I was brought up in the world of music that was sort of the cover band, entertainment era, not so much, write your own music, singer-songwriter, it didn't seem like a path I was going to go down, but I just kept writing and started to produce things. And so with some of the feedback that I got from the music that I wrote and sang, I decided to just kind of let that be another version of what I was doing with my voice. And I've had enough success that I haven't stopped yet. So this particular album, 2008, I had 1 child. I think I was about to be pregnant with the second child. And I had a whole album that I just wanted to get out before I got, in my book, too old. 2008, I was just turning 30, so I was like, I got to get this thing out. My God, what am I going to wait? When's the perfect time? Never. So I talked to my husband, my now late husband, but the husband at the time. And we, kind of had to figure it out because we had just had a baby. We were going to try to have another baby. And I was like, yeah, but we have to also give birth to this other album. How are we going to do this? So he's on this album too. I think in the tracks, you'll hear him play saxophone. So yeah, this album had to do with trying to make a record that was consistent and something that you could just press play on and enjoy the mood all the way through. That was sort of one of the guiding forces, sort of the North Star, was my yellow and white front porch with a front porch swing and windows that opened the old style way. And so that's what this whole vibe is, sort of a front porch swing, lemonade sipping kind of summery feel.
Or sweet tea sipping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. If you're just listening to the podcast, the audio podcast version, we're looking at the album cover, and it is that color of summer,
sunset,
of sunsets on the
Yeah.
porch, sipping tea. We got a nice gradient of yellow and orange, and we're going to get lots of gradients from this music too.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to dig into this record, especially for folks who maybe haven't heard it or maybe haven't heard it in a while. This show is about discovering and rediscovering great music. And again, the album that you mentioned, 2008, Afternoon, and afternoon being 2 separate words. Since this is an audio podcast, we want to make sure people know that. So
Yes.
Is there a particular reason why you wanted to call it afternoon and not afternoon?
I just felt like afternoon is a noun, sort of, it means this time. But then if you separate the 2 words, like after noon, it just felt like more of a vibe, more of a feeling than just like this noun. It sort of felt like it was describing this feeling of sort of this, summery, hot. I don't know. It just felt, it felt like more of a vibe.
It has more of a lazy vibe. Like we're not getting up till afternoon,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and it could be any time afternoon too, right?
Yeah,
it could
exactly.
be 1 a.m.,
Yeah, dark.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and just to separate it out, I don't know, just sort of
I love it. I love it. Well, let's get these afternoon vibes here going, these summery vibes. This first track that you picked to feature on today's show is Now That You're Here. Is there anything you want to say about this song before we take a listen?
it's the last song that I wrote for the album. I wanted to find a song that really kind of tied all the songs together, and this was it. I wrote it on my bicycle, going down Larpenter, and yeah, this is the song that out of all the songs on the album, I could talk about it a little bit afterwards, but this is the biggest quote hit off of the record. It was the last one that I wrote, so it did its job.
Right on. It looks like the first track on the record as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's a great way to kick off our hour together with Jennifer Grimm. This is Now That You're Here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
Now that you're here, the world is right again. I can't remember when I felt so free. Spring is sprung, I can feel the sun, flowers in bloom, just for you and me. Now that you're here, the world is bright again. I'm feeling better than I felt before. I never knew I was waiting just for you, but it's so clear now that you are here. The days went on, I went along, thinking that's the way it was. But now those days are far away, and my dear, it's all because now that you're here, the world is right again. I can't remember when I felt so free. I never knew I was waiting just for you, but it's so clear now that you are here. The days went on, I went along, thinking that's the way it was. But now those days are far away, and my dear, it's all because now that you're here, the world is right again. I can't remember when I felt so free. I never knew I was waiting just for you, but it's so clear now that you are. I'll keep you near now that you are. Oh my dear, that you are here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, my blood pressure just dropped. Like,
Yeah.
oh
It
man,
might be cloudy outside, but it's
Ugh.
sunny and
Sunny
beautiful
in
here
this
in the back
afternoon.
catalog. Yeah.
Sure is. That was Jennifer Grimm with "Now That You're Here" from her 2008 album Afternoon, which we are revisiting today with Jennifer Grimm joining us. And yeah, folks really loving it. Christopher's wants to get his blue velvet smoking jacket. So, and Joe was commenting on the vocals, the soft drums, great sound all around. And yeah, I love that, it has that kind of like sweet laid back jazz vibe, but I love the instrumentation and that it's kind of spare, like it's just what guitar, bass, drums, and what clarinet.
Clarinet, yep.
Nice.
That's it.
But it has like, there's just this warm vibe. That's
Yeah,
really
I
sweet.
imagine that you guys were all in one big room doing that.
We were isolated, but in one studio playing it live together. Yeah, as much as we could. We had bass and drums and me at the same time. But the bass player also was the guitar player on this, Jocko
Oh, wow.
McNelly. And so he laid down the bass with Reed Grimm, my brother, on drums. And then he went back and tracked the guitar. And then Brian Grivna, the amazing Brian Grivna, then came back later and did the clarinet, which is
beautiful.
perfect, hang.
Yeah.
It's the sound was supposed to have that kind of, ever summer, like forever summer sound, which to me means, you're somewhere southern United States and it's sort of, kind of humid and has a little bit of that New Orleans kind of, you want a clarinet in there, you want it to be, instruments, people sitting on the porch kind of feeling, where it's just, this is where we hang out kind of feel.
Oh, it's where I want to hang out.
Yeah, it
every
took
day.
me there, that's for sure. And where was this recorded?
This was recorded with Tim Snow at his place, Lighthouse Records. I had understood that some of his recordings had landed on a Bose sample CD, like when Bose systems want to play something really cool to like feature their system.
Yeah.
And so I had heard from another musician that I had been working with that Tim had this, ear and this precision and perfection. And so I thought, great, I'll just go over and see what he's doing. And so he's just a great guy and super fun and funny and great to record with. And so we had a blast recording.
Captured some great sounds too.
Yeah.
I mean, really amazing engineering. And where is he located?
I don't know now. I think he's moved around a little bit. So I know that he's, still, I think he's still in the Twin Cities.
Okay.
But I'm
here.
not sure, actually. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But Tim Snow, Lighthouse Records.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it does. It really, really does.
Yeah,
And
really.
what were we going to say?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, the thing I was going to say about it being like the quote biggest hit off of this record is that, if you're a songwriter and you have all these, songs and recordings, it's the only way to really, have a living off of this is mostly from performing live. But if you want to do something with the recordings, you have to pitch the songs and the recordings for placements in TV, commercials, movies, whatever. And so I do that. And this song has been in the most television shows. So it's been
Nice.
in NBC's Parenthood. It's been some show with Don Cheadle off Showtime. It's been in Supergirl, Stargirl, and it's just been in, I don't know, it's been on like 5 different television shows, and it's always the song that's sort of the music that's happening for the background high end soiree.
Well, they caught your vibe, man.
The fake live band in the back is pretend playing, and they're playing this song.
I was just going to say, one of the things that I feel like it really has is that sort of classic vibe, right? So I think I can see why it would be, I mean, the both the lyrics and the mood of the song is something that I feel like is timeless. It sounds like a song, like if someone wants the vibe of something from a long time ago that still sounds fresh, they're going to go to this, it sounds so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really nice stuff. And folks loving the music. And Again, if it sounds good to you out there in podcast land and on YouTube, it's going to sound even better when you listen to it the way we're listening to it, and with the big headphones and all the ones and zeros. So make sure to pick up. You still have CD copies of this album?
I have like 3.
Get on it, folks.
Limited edition.
I really don't have any. So it lives. If you have it, you have it. Otherwise, it lives on streaming services and live when you come see me if you want.
Yes,
let me know
do it.
and we'll play any of them.
Well, you can find those pre-recorded versions and the live versions by going to Jennifer's website, Jennifer Grimm, 2Ms, mm.com.
Yeah. And I was thinking when you were talking about the song before we took a listen, you said you kind of wrote it while you're biking down Larpenteur, which is a big road here in the Twin Cities. And I could totally get that. You're talking about feeling free and like feeling these like vibes. But I'm curious, do you often write songs kind of while you're doing other things, or do you like sit down to write, or is it just when the songs come to you?
Well, it depends on what the song is for. When it's a song that is coming from me and it's not really an assignment from somebody else, because that's a whole other like sliver of my brain. But when it's just a song, it usually has to come from an emotion or a combination of emotions. And then, the whole song kind of feel like a song paleontologist. Like I just kind of more like discover the whole song rather than write it. Because the whole thing is happening, the lyrics, the melody, the chord structure, the instrumentation, it sort of all happens in my head at the same time. So that's why it feels more like a discovery than a writing process, really. But every now and again, I have to yank out a rhyming dictionary or something. But for the most part, it just kind of occurs, and then I just write it down. And when I get home from driving, I do a lot of writing when I'm driving, or on a bicycle. Then I just, quick get home and try to figure out the chords, jot it all down, before it goes poof, out of my brain.
Yeah.
Besides your voice, do you have a main instrument or anything that you use for writing?
No. I mean, for writing, I see what you're saying. For writing, piano, just to figure out the chords. But I don't consider myself any sort of instrumentalist. I'll leave that up to the professionals. Excuse me. I have played instruments in shows, but like only in emergencies.
But when the inspiration strikes, you might sit down at the keyboard.
Yeah, I grab a piano. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm most familiar with how to get around that thing.
Awesome. So that can be the whole other extra challenge, as you said, to like once you get home and you have a song in your head, trying to, obviously we have tools to record things now, voice memos and stuff, but still you have to kind of capture it in a way that you can share with your bandmates or document it in some fashion.
Remember what you meant
exactly
the next day.
Exactly. True.
Well, like any good archaeologist, or you have to document your work.
That's right.
For others to understand it.
Hey there! Would you like to be part of the live show? Well, become a member of the Back Catalog Listening Party Patreon, and you'll get a backstage pass to weekly online tapings, where you can ask the artist questions and participate in the live chat with a fun community of like-minded music nerds. You'll also get a first look at upcoming guests and receive invitations to special live streams and private after parties. So join the party today at patreon.com/Back Catalog Listening Party.
Well, again, this record sounds so good. I want to hear more tunes. And the next one is one about our fair. I think, are we doing Blow It or Minneapolis and St. Paul?
We were going to do Minneapolis St. Paul, I think.
Okay. So, is this inspired by our fair cities here?
It sure is. I was in New York doing a show in back in the 1900s, and I was realizing that, New York has a song, San Francisco, Chicago, all these towns have songs, but there's like no song that I could sing in New York about Minneapolis. There was nothing. So, that's where it's all from. But I do want to say before you play it, that because this song was written in the 1900s, it does reference Lake Calhoun. And the lyrics have been updated since, and we are doing a new recording of it with the new lyrics, but that has not yet happened. So when you do hear the outdated name of the lake, Lake Calhoun, I will reveal the updated lyrics after on the other end of this song.
Fantastic. Well, I'm excited that you included St. Paul too, because a lot of people just kind of lump the two together, but they really are, complementary,
Yeah,
and very different.
we're
So
called the Twin Cities, for a
yeah,
reason. But the perspective of the song is from the perspective of being in New York and missing home. And this version of it that we're going to listen to is the second time I recorded it. The first time I recorded it is on my very, very first record when I was like 19 or 20. That record is called All of Me, and that's super mega out of print. But that has the original version of Minneapolis and St. Paul that has an intro verse. You know what I'm talking about? It has like an intro verse. And it says the lyrics of the intro verse are, New York, it's so grand. There's no place like it in the world. It's so amazing. I'm always gazing at something new. But there's a kind of folk that it's lacking, along with trees and certain squirrels that I haven't seen since I left last June. That part is missing on this version. But that sets up the fact that you're in New York and going, gosh, I miss all my trees and all my wild animals that I see around here because everything's, concrete jungle out there.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes.
Actually, that's the kind of stuff we love here at the Back Catalog Listening Party. We got the out of print intro to the song. You heard it here, folks. This is Jennifer Grimm, Minneapolis and St. Paul, here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
I miss Minneapolis and I miss St. Paul. You can look all you want from LA to Vermont, and you won't find towns like these at all. Where else can you see the stars in the perfect midnight air, and take in Lake Calhoun and the cherry and spoon with all of your dollars to spare? And oh, how the snow covers every evergreen. There's nowhere I know where even strangers will treat you as family. It's this that I truly miss when I think of it all. And for home I will yearn till the day I return to Minneapolis and St. Paul.
All right. Jennifer
Nice.
Grimm paying tribute to Minneapolis and St. Paul, something we're very excited about here on the back catalog listening party, since Anthony and I are both based in Minneapolis. And I know, Anthony, you're actually a St. Paul native,
Yeah,
so
I
you
love that
appreciate that.
Grand Avenue reference. I might have
Hey.
held a few hands down that in my formative years. So yeah,
I bet.
that was beautiful, beautiful. And I just want to remark on the dynamic range on this record. It really there's a lot of range. There's a lot of ups and downs, and that's something you don't get in a lot of modern recordings. I always kind of joke on this show. Sometimes I look at the waveforms right in front of me, and like usually just looks like a big rectangle.
Right.
But when I'm looking at these, it's just what I'm hearing. It's peaks and valleys, and I'm just curious. Obviously, you're surrounded by all these talented musicians and a great engineer, but was there any aesthetic that you kind of gave to the engineer, if for production notes or anything like that, about how you wanted it to sound? Are you involved in the production side of things?
Absolutely. My background just being a live musician for my whole time, obviously all of us pretty much are, but I really wanted any recording that I put out, especially the first couple records that I did, I wanted it to really be something that was a reproducible sound live. And I wanted the sound to be like you were coming to a show and seeing, and hearing what you would see or hear there. And for anybody who's in the cities that's seen me perform, much of what I'm known for are big, huge notes, like big belting notes, right? And this record, I spent the whole time going, we're not really going to do any of those. We're going to keep everything chill. I'm going to be really close to the mic. We're going to sing real nice and soft. A very, vocally sustainable record. And so, because again, like I had said before, I really wanted the album to be a play and a press play and have a nice vibe throughout. So to me, if you're telling a story, if you're listening to somebody talk at all, it is a dynamic thing. You mean it more, you're going to be a little louder, you're laughing loud, you're getting close in, it's just, the voice is so dynamic. So to me, I really like to have the microphone live or in the studio, an uncompressed sound, meaning that you really get to hear the breath. Like when I'm recording, when I get breathy, I get really close. And when I get big, I back up, because I don't like the compressed sound where everything has that same wavelength, like you're saying, where everything's the same. It's just this wall of bleh, and I can't handle it. So yeah, I do. I'm very involved in making sure that the mixing and the mastering on the other end of the record makes it so you don't have to ride your volume knob, obviously while you're listening to it, but within that acceptable range where you don't have to ride a volume knob to enjoy the record. I do like to have all of that real live breathing dynamic to the performances to be captured.
Yeah. And it sounds like real people. It just
Yeah.
sounds
Right.
like really talented people.
Yeah. It
But-
really stood out with the clarinet playing, where it was like it was
Mhm.
just going low and it was going higher, and it was just like your voice. It was telling a story, not just with the notes, but with the emotion and the breath.
Yeah.
I was noticing that, especially on this song. I mean, on both of the tracks we've heard, having that clarinet be the other main kind of melodic voicing on the track. It's such a great compliment to like the tone of your voice. Like it's just, there's something about the instrument itself, not just the great playing that they're doing, but that feels like a second voice. Like it's
Yeah.
duetting with you quite a bit. And it just
I like
sounds
that
really lovely.
very round sound, but it still has, it cuts through. So it kind of does that both, where it's cutting through and round. And that, to me brings it. And it also has that almost, again, like that New Orleans kind of, old jazz sound that I wanted to harken back to, but because it's Brian Grivna, the performances are so great. And we'll hear on the next one on Blow It, you really get to hear Brian Grivna go bananas. But I do want to say, I promised that I would give you that updated lyric. So the way it was originally written was, and taking Lake Calhoun and the cherry and spoon. But now it says, hear the call of a loon, see the cherry and spoon with all of your dollars to spare. And so it is,
Nice.
acceptable.
Yeah.
Yes.
For those who don't know, Lake Calhoun was renamed Bidet Makaska, or should I say, went back to its original name probably. So not renamed, but and nothing rhymes with Bidet Makaska. So
Yeah, you'd have to write a whole new song for that because you can't just plug it in, really.
Right. No. So we had to get rid of any sort of lake.
Bidet Makaska, Nebraska? No.
Yeah,
There's
no.
something. It's almost there, but there's something.
The loon
It's not-
evokes lots of great things too.
Yes, the loon is our bird, and
It's
and
great.
so it makes sense. But so that is the updated lyric, and we'll be recording that. I have commissioned Adi Yeshaya, who is an incredible orchestrator, to go ahead and arrange this song for probably about a 13-piece group. So we'll be redoing it in that fashion with the updated lyric, and we'll hopefully have that out in 2026 sometime.
Nice.
Yeah.
And speaking of Adi Yeshaya, who's just a master musician, orchestrator, jazz band leader, has also worked with one of our other past back catalog guests, Jonathan Brooke, as well. And but you've done a lot of work with his jazz orchestra of late, and I hear that you have a couple big gigs coming up at the end of August. Tell us about those.
Well, we're going to be at the State Fair. I think, on one of the stages, who knows? I have to look it all up. But we opened up the Twin Cities Jazz Fest this year, which was a big deal for us. And last year we played at Birdland in New York City, and then we have been asked back. So we're playing August 24th, which is a Sunday afternoon show, 5:30, back at Birdland in New York City. We're very, very excited. Legendary. It's a big deal. So we're pumped. It's a 13-piece band. And Adi, for those of you who don't know him, you can look him up. Adi is ADI, and Yeshaya is YESHAYA. And he is, he's been the orchestrator for Aretha Franklin, for Prince, for Lena Horne, for Burt Bacharach. And he has been the arranger, the strings arranger for The Voice, that television show, The Voice, for I don't even know how many years, 13 years or something. Wow. So, and he lives in the Twin Cities here. So he's got his Adi Yeshaya Jazz Orchestra, and he has asked me to be his singer, which has been very exciting. So we are playing, once a month or once every other month or so. And he's great.
And again, you can check out all the tour dates at jennifergrimm.com. And you can check out those dates. Also, you'll find Jennifer performs in many formats. So like if you live in the Twin Cities, every Thursday you play with your husband, Joe Cruz. And that's like a totally different vibe than the jazz orchestra.
Absolutely. That's just a duo. I'm playing snare and hi-hat. My husband's playing guitar, and he's got a loop pedal, and we both sing. And so it's this very compact, nice kind of a rich sound, but it's just the two of us, very low overhead and a nice rich sound, so we can fit in any corner or fill any stage, like we're very modular that way, but it's great. A totally different thing than obviously a 13-piece band.
Yeah. And then you have the Sounds of Santana show. So I mean, there's so many different ways you can experience Jennifer Grimm's amazing voice. So all I have to say is check it out when you can. jennifergrimm.com, because and again, check out the Minnesota State Fair schedule, because many of our past guests are there. And if you've never been to the Minnesota State Fair, it's hard to describe, but it's like 2.5 weeks, and it's not just all the state fair things you expect, but so much music. There's, I don't know 10 free stages of music, plus all the big acts that comes to the grandstand. So
that's right.
For folks that aren't from the Twin Cities, it's not out in the boonies either. It's
in St. Paul.
It's right in the middle of the Twin Cities, which just adds to the whole vibe. And I thought I heard before we started the show that both you, Ellen, and you, Jennifer, might be playing at the same stage at the same day. Is that correct?
Seems like it. Are you there the first Thursday and Friday?
Yes, I'm playing the West End stage with the Mother Banjo Band, and you're going to be doing a bunch of different shows. But you said you'll be sitting with Nicholas David, I think, on that stage.
Nicholas David will be performing those first 2 days at that.
So
stage.
Basically, if you come to the State Fair the first 2 days, you can hang out with me and Jennifer.
That's
and
right.
Enjoy some great music.
And then on that same day, not only am I doing the Nicholas David show on the same stage as you, but then at nighttime, both that first Thursday and Friday, the 8:00 show is the Sounds of Santana show at the Bazaar stage with my husband Joe Cruz. So
oh wow,
fantastic!
It's gonna be a big day.
Okay, just a big day. Hang out with us; it'll be fun. You can check out that website at the Minnesota State Fair, or go to jennifergrimm.com because you'll want to check her out. Let's get to this next song because you were teasing it earlier and saying that we get to hear some crazy blowing on this song, right?
Yeah. This is just what some people call this a patter song where the lyrics are just very fast. And I'm a big fan of Ludacris and hip hop and rap in general. But I don't think I'm cool enough to just say it. So I basically take it upon myself to, say words as fast as I would if I were Ludacris, except for I'm just going to go ahead and sing them because I feel like it's more appropriate that way for me.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to give it a spin. This is Jennifer Grimm. Blow It here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
1, 2, I want to.
Every time I look at you, I know that you're the man I want to marry. It's a little bit scary, but I know it's true. Every time I give a wink, I start dreaming and I think maybe we could have a little baby, or maybe two. Never thought I'd feel this way, especially so soon. I met you only yesterday, underneath the moon. Oh, you and I gonna be together for eternity, I know it. I hope I don't blow it, baby, I love you. Know that you're the man I'm gonna marry. It's a little bit scary, but you're the one for me. Every time I give away, I start dreaming and I think, wow, sir, we can get a little house, or maybe 3. Never thought I'd feel this way, especially so soon. I met you only yesterday in the afternoon. Oh, you and I gonna be together for eternity, I know it. I hope I don't blow it, baby, I love you. It's a little bit scary, but I just can't wait. Every time I give a wink, I start dreaming and I think, man, this could give mama some grandkids, or maybe it. Never thought I'd feel this way, especially so soon. I met you only yesterday at the Greasy Spoon. Oh, boy, you and I gonna be together for eternity, I know it. I hope I don't blow it, baby, I love you. Know that you're the man I'm gonna marry. It's a little bit scary, but oh, what a thrill. Every time I give away, I start dreaming and I think, imagine we could live in your mansion up on the hill. Never thought I'd feel this way, especially so soon. I met you only yesterday while I wrote this tune. Oh, you and I gonna be together for eternity, starting now, never parting. How I love you.
Oh yeah, folks are loving that.
That was something else.
Connie just says, wow. And Joe says, I don't think I've ever heard such a fast patter without a single miss or slur. Yeah. So you were recording this live with the rhythm section.
Yeah.
Did you have to do, were there times when you recorded this, you're like, you have to start from the beginning because, with such a fast thing.
We were isolated, live together, but
okay.
isolated. So I could always, that's the beauty of recording, Joe, is that, if you do it, you can go back and fix it. but I'll tell you one thing.
Although hard to plug in, when it's that fast. You can't just like punch in. That's the term they have when you kind of record like one phrase or word and they sub it in for something you messed up. But like with such a fast patter, I don't know how you would do that.
If you come and see me live, you'll see that I will, in fact, perform it that quickly without a miss or a slur.
Wow.
So you just
so
don't
good.
worry about that. Yeah, no, it's my favorite. So some of the new stuff that I have coming out this year is more packed with some of that fast stuff, because it's one of my favorite things to do.
I was just going to ask about that because you just released a new single called For the Record. And you were mentioning earlier your love of rappers. And you really hear that influence on this new song that you did, which is a completely different vibe from what we're hearing today.
Yeah.
But equally amazing. But tell us about this new single that you just put out. Because, I would say it has that super fast lyrical thing happening.
Yeah. The song For the Record, it just came out on Sunday, July 20th. But it's a song that's been in the works for a long time. There was a whole album of music that I started before I had the child that if you're watching this video version of this podcast, the record, the singles visual popped up and I'm holding my child that I had. He's now 6, about to be 7. So I wrote a lot of these songs a while ago, but there's this one particularly is sort of a political, it's a great time to release it because it is all about kind of this march from a mother's perspective about how, all the ridiculous, insane versions of truth that are coming out that have nothing to do with what I literally just saw on television. And then somebody else is trying to tell me that I didn't just see what I just saw. That's what the lyrics are. And the point of the song is about sort of a mom saying, for the record, I'm teaching my children the difference between actual truth and complete nonsense, and so that's what the push of the song is. But the genre is somebody described to me that it's sort of a mashup of at least 3 different genres because it's sort of this sort of dance vibe, but I'm doing all of my big songs, singing with my bigger voice, but then also really getting in sort of rap music, but I'm never rap. I'm always singing, but it has that very, very quick, I spit out the golden rule. I say, you want to treat everybody and see everybody the way that you want everybody to treat and see you. It's just the golden rule, but it just, I was like, how can I get the golden rule out in a really cool, fun way?
You did it.
Yeah. And so that is in that song, so it does mash up with quite a few genres, but it's mostly like, what I love is kind of all mashed up together. Big singing, great message, kind of rap music.
Killer band too.
Great band and this dance vibe, so it's cool.
Well, and I'm pretty sure I ran across a pretty cool video of you doing this as well. So if you're interested, you can check out Jennifer Grimm's YouTube channel. I imagine it's linked to from your website.
Yep, and it's pinned on my Facebook page, Instagram page, and YouTube, and probably on TikTok as well. But that's the live capture of it in my kitchen. That's not the studio version, like being lip synced to or anything like that. So you can see the live capture of all of that fast stuff without a miss or a slur. There, Joe.
There you go.
I can second that. It's amazing for a live, in the kitchen video.
Yeah.
I can only imagine I can't wait to hear the recorded version. And
it's great.
If you're also interested in the other things we've mentioned, the studios and the engineers and all that kind of stuff, we compile all of these notes at backcataloglisteningparty.com. That's our kind of liner notes for our episodes, and you can find those links there.
Cool.
Yeah. For sure. And I also love that Joni chimed in when we were playing that last song to say, I actually checked my play speed to see if it was at 2 times. So impressive and clear. I mean, that's the
Yes.
other amazing thing is not just that you went fast. I mean, you could hear every word. I mean, again, you must have not been drinking bubbles because
bubbles, not
yeah, that's a precision. And that's just also not a skill at all. There's a lot of great singers out there that just can't do the fast. That's just
Yeah.
a thing that that a lot of folks can't do. So
And they're
it's
probably not listening to Ludacris.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Ludacris
Practice, right?
If you listen to Ludacris, there's some of his songs. He's speaking so quickly but so clearly
Mhm.
that you're actually your mind registers as images, and you're seeing images even though you can't even hardly
Keep
comprehend what
up.
he said,
Yeah.
because it's going so quickly, but you see all these images. And so he's an inspiration to me as far as that clarity and that
Yeah.
quickness, he's
Awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
The Back Catalog Listening Party is brought to you by EFS Publicity. Founded by veteran publicist, promoter, DJ, and musician Ellen Stanley, EFS brings an artist's perspective to the table, working to help clients get to the next level in their career. Services include national and international media campaigns, radio promotions, tour press, crowdfunding, grant writing, and more. Get a quote or set up a consultation today at efspublicity.com.
Well, I'm really enjoying this whole album. And again, if you are too, again, she said she's pretty much out of copies. Maybe you can find one somewhere. If you do, grab it, jennifergrimm.com. Also, again, you can download the high-res tracks like from Apple or those if you want to hear, again, it in all its clarity, because it does sound so good.
Yeah.
So check it out. But right now we're going to get to, I think we have time for one more song, and that is Trip Around the Sun, I think is the last song we're going to hear. So is there anything you want to say about this before we take a listen?
Absolutely. So I thought it was cool. I had actually never at this point ever heard anybody say trip around the sun, meaning like a thing. And so I thought I was being very cool, but apparently everybody says it. So I was like, okay, neat, whatever, dude. But the song was written for my late husband, Aaron Hilden. This was before he passed. He's actually playing saxophone on this track, I'm pretty sure. Isn't he? Yeah. And it recounts the first 2 years of our whirlwind relationship, the very first 2 years of it, where we met I think we went out on a Sunday in the summertime, and you'll hear how it goes, where we dated a little bit, and then he decided to, propose, and then we got married, and then we were like, oh my God, we're pregnant. And so it was just very, very fast. And so you'll hear the timeline. The first year is the first sort of verse, and then the second year is the second verse. And we had got married in 2005, and this was all, recorded in 2008. And so it was just those first 2 years of our thing. And it's great that he's playing on it, because we lost him in 2013. And so that's why I think it's important to play it.
Excellent. This is Jennifer Grimm, Trip Around the Sun, here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
It started on a Sunday in July. We kissed as summer days went flying by. I couldn't help but stare at the way your wheaten hair changed upon the backdrop of the fall. Now we have it all. The winter months were cold, you held me close. In spring you took my hand and you proposed. Planning vows in June was so much fun. Thank you for the trip around the sun. side. In autumn I was your November bride. The winter brought surprise as I looked into your eyes, and we suddenly realized we weren't just two. Oh, what love can do. The spring came round again, but not too soon. We walked among the fireflies in June. August brought our precious little one. Thank you for the trip around the sun. The days they spin around like a dance with the stars, but days they come and go so fast. I know I found the one who'll travel around the sun, sharing a love that lasts. The season doesn't matter, nor the time. I'm grateful just to know your heart is mine. And so I'll whisper when each year is done, thank you for the trip around the sun. Days they spin around like a dance with the stars, but days they come and go so fast. I know I found the one who'll travel around the sun, sharing a love that lasts. The season doesn't matter, nor the time. I'm grateful just to know your heart is mine. And so I'll whisper when each year is done, thank you for the trip around the sun.
Ah,
Wow.
love that. Oh, so
What a
beautiful.
really beautiful.
And
Man.
I love that his saxophone playing like still is held to that same kind of vibey, quiet. Because
Mhm.
saxophone can be, kind of loud and busy, and
Yeah.
this is just so fitting your whole vibe that you've been talking about for this record, Afternoon. Like it
Mhm.
has those that southern drawl to it,
Right.
It's
Can
real
you play
sweet.
your saxophone with a southern accent? Thank you.
That's what I feel like. It's just
Well, and
great.
I feel like, given the backstory of this song too, that the title almost has an existential
Right.
meaning now,
Now,
which
yeah.
is like, you know, it's emotional listening back after hearing your story.
Yeah. And, the beginning of it, that little line, it's just the wedding bells. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. And so
Oh.
that's what that beginning and end was supposed to kind of be like, the little wedding bells. It's supposed to be an anniversary song. And now it has a whole other, meaning to it, a whole other flavor to it. Yeah.
And Dr. Joni says, so lovely, good for the nervous system these days. So
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
I think we all
The
need
For the
more of
Record
this.
stuff that just came out is very, kind of protest vibes or political action vibes.
It's a marching song.
Whereas
Yeah.
This album is like, what politics? What are you talking about? No such thing. You're just like relaxing.
I feel like you need both. I feel like
Yeah.
each one is necessary, especially in this day and age. Sometimes you need the music to motivate you to go out and fight for the community, and then you need a rest. We all need a rest.
Well, and isn't love just kind of like at the heart of revolution too, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this has been such a special hour of music and conversation with Jennifer Grimm. And if you want to stay in touch with her, check out the shows, buy music, all the stuff, go to jennifergrimm.com. And Christopher says, shout out to others. Great collaboration with Jennifer and Joe Cruz, a guitar monster. Check them out at a cafe near you. And he says, thanks, Jennifer, and Back Catalog Listening Party crew. Joe just gives a heart emoji. Yes, I agree with all of those hearts. I just want to say special thanks to Jennifer for because this show would be nothing without the guests sharing their thoughts and memories and sharing what went into the recording of these beautiful songs. And all of you out there listening, whether you've been joining the live chat or whether you're listening on the podcast, we're so happy you're here with us in our community. And especially we want to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters. These are the folks that have kept the show going for 5 years. It's because of these folks. And if you're wondering, like, how do I get invited to the party? How do I get involved in the live conversation? Well, you join the Patreon and you get your own invite. So if you want to join these fine folks and get an invite, go to patreon.com/back catalog listening party. Want to thank Penny, Anna, Linda, Bevan, Connie, Vaughn, Ellen, Chris, Becky, Peggy, Joe, Jim, Beverly, John, Fred, Tim, Sarah, David, Jocelyn, Matt, Steve, Mark, Homestead Pick and Parlor, Severin, Lynn, Mary, Nikki, Joni, David, CJ, Wiley, Stephanie, Christy, Diane, Hetty, Sandy, Neighbor Ann, BZ, Alyssa, Paul, and our brand new Patreon member, Cynthia.
Welcome, Cynthia. Yay.
Yeah, see, she did it without a slur either. Nice.
I think I have messed up in the past, even though I do this every week. But there's changes in the list, new people get added.
You're inspired now.
I think you were the inspiration, Jennifer.
Yeah, buddy.
I didn't even pause really at that
no,
one. So
that had flow to it.
And
I know.
I
I'll work on it.
want to give a shout out to the patrons that we got to see in person this past week. We had a little in-person Patreon gathering at the 331 Club that featured past back catalog guests, future back catalog guests, and we got to meet Cynthia and give her one of these wonderful pint glasses. We have a few left, so if you want to get in on the ground floor and get one of these delicious pint glasses, just head on over to patreon.com/back catalog listening.
Cool. Love that.
And either way, we're just happy that you've joined us for the party. And we do this every week. We drop new episodes every week, and we do tapings most weeks. So if you are listening to the podcast and you want to know what's happening on the next podcast, hit that subscribe button, and you'll get those new episodes because we. Oh, go ahead.
And I was going to also say that, like, for this particular episode, if you give it like a thumbs up on YouTube or you write a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it's going to direct that more people to Jennifer's episode. And I think more people need to hear this. This is a nice contrast to the protests that we also need to be out there doing. And man, it just filled my cup. Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing this hour and your music and all the stories with us today.
Thank you for having me. And thanks to everybody for listening and chiming in with your sweet comments during the live show. If anybody wants to stay in touch with me, of course, I have a mailing list on jennifergrimm.com. Bottom of the first page, you can throw an email in there. I send something out personally once a month, if I remember. So yeah, it's just a staff of one over here.
Yeah. Well, we are so happy that your admin let us book you, Jennifer. So
got
this is
through.
really
My
great.
admin is my 6-year-old.
Well, he's doing a very good job. So
Thank you. Thank you.
well, thank you so much. This was just what I needed. Hope you all have a wonderful music-filled, blood pressure lowering week if you can.
Yes.
And we'll see you back next week for another edition of the Back Catalog Listening Party. Thanks, friends.
All right. Keep supporting independent musicians. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Woo.
Thanks for joining us on the Back Catalog Listening Party. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review, which helps more people discover our show and our guests.
And do you want to be a part of the live show, get a first look at upcoming guests, and receive invites to private online parties and live streams? Then join our Patreon community at backcataloglisteningparty.com.
Have a great week. We'll see you back here next Friday for another edition of the Back Catalog Listening Party.